Good morning, everybody. NIO Life here. To say that I'm extremely proud of us is an understatement of the century. For those people who are new to the channel, welcome. I want to catch you up to speed. Yesterday I made a video, this video here, and tons of comments, amazing amount of support, and I suggest everybody read my pinned comment that I pinned by this user, UMP8087. Unfortunately, I don't know if this is an AI or this is human, but based on his writing style, I would say he is real, because AI doesn't do this kind of things. Yeah, so I think it's real, but in case he is a AI trader who is bullish, welcome to the camp. That's all I can say. Yeah, I hope your shares 10x by December 2026. Please read this. And now, for anyone who still doubt that this channel has a huge impact on the price of NIO, just look at the timing of the release of my video and the timing of the recovering of the share price. By then, you should have zero doubt. All right. Good morning, everyone. NIO Life here. Allow me to introduce you to the view. And in the background, that's the Laos flag. Beautiful country. And today we have amazing weather. And I came to this particular place to shoot the video so that you get a nice view while we're talking about NIO 100. Alright, I'll give you guys a view first. I'm still in the city of Van Vien, and my hotel is just that way on the riverside. And the view here, I don't need to say more, right? You can see for yourself. Absolutely beautiful. Okay. Now, NIO 100. What do we do here? To say I'm proud is truly an understatement. Anybody who still don't understand what NIO 100 is about, now we have absolutely proven evidence for anybody to follow this movement now. You understand that what we're doing here is not a game. This is real life money-making opportunity of the century, and you only have one choice. You can only participate because you're already watching my videos. You are looking at my face right now, and you're getting curious why this random guy on the internet has such an outsized impact on the share price of NIO. Is this really random, or is this designed? And this answer I cannot give you. You can only find out yourself. Let's say this. My influence on the share price is as random as the fact I'm here in Laos on a sunny day with almost nobody around me. The fact nobody else is around me tells you that I chose a very good time to come. The fact that the weather is amazing shows you that the timing is perfect. Yeah. What does all this have to do with NIO? It has something to do with goal setting. This is something that's going to happen to you again and again in your life. And I want you to understand, in December 2026, when we reach the price of $100 per share in NIO, I'm going to go a bit further away from this area because it's getting even noisy. I'm going to sit here next to the flag. extra power, better lighting. Okay. I'm getting a little bit more emotional today because to get to this point took me personally 3 years. Unfortunately, most people will think, and the same thing they're going to say to you is, you just got lucky. I'm reflecting like any other military leader reflecting after a major battle won. Last night's battle was 130 million shares traded and 40 million shares traded before that in Hong Kong. Is the ultimate battle to prove to the adversary that NIO 100 is real, that the army is united, that we act in unison, and anybody who's buying shares with NIO 100 in mind is not selling. And to get here, this was 3 years of work, countless hours of preparation, but ultimately thousands of hours, let's say hundreds of thousands of hours of support by you. I'm in debt to you, the viewer. I have almost 600,000 views on one single topic. This is actually unheard of. You have to think about it this way. It's a little bit like, imagine someone tells you an extremely simple message, and then you hear the same message again and again every day, once a day, sometimes twice a day, and you still not going to get bored of it. Our viewership is growing, our army is getting bigger, subscriber numbers going up. We're growing exactly how it should be. And I want you to visualize what happened yesterday. Yesterday was the biggest victory our camp has achieved. Because despite all the trapping, did you see how much of the news of the lawsuit was spread all over the internet by the official news channels? This is the classic trap that the shorts use. Normally it works. Normally that will work. If we are not united under the banner of NIO 100, a lot of people have panic sold. And one part of panic selling will trigger more panic selling. More panic selling will trigger even more panic selling. That's the game of shorting any shares. You introduce panic, uncertainties, the FUD, basically fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and then watch the people crater one by one by one. You start with the weakest hands selling at 5 cents below the limit, then 10 cents, then 20 cents, then 50 cents, then the $1.50. This is how normally the shorts play this game. I want this flag to fly in my face. I want this flag to fly in my face. I really love the experience today. This is a little bit like in a movie about Vietnam War where they say, it smells of victory. I can smell the smell of victory today. Last night's battle demonstrated conclusively, not just to you, but more important to me, that everything I have told you guys is true. It's not a self-delusion. Because very often this can happen. When people have a certain idea, one of the biggest problems when people with a good idea is they don't go away from their idea when the reality hits them like a freight train. When they think something gonna do and yet it doesn't do it. And last night was the polar opposite. Last night was the complete conviction of the entire idea of the movement NIO 100. If you have any doubt that this will work, if you have any doubt that by December 2026 we will get to $100 per share, your last sliver of doubt should be erased by last night's price action. AI has officially joined our game, people. The AI has officially joined our game. Do you actually understand what kind of victory that was? Do you know how big is GIC? Do you have any idea how big is GIC? What I'm talking about, I don't know, maybe $100 billion here at play. GIC did something that is absolutely despicable. They were trying to rob the small shareholders for their own benefits. GIC sold all the shares at a low price because they had a stop loss in place. They didn't implement long-term strategies. They were acting like any other small investors who have no idea what they were doing. So they bought at a high, they sold at a low. Now we are going up in price because NIO 100. And suddenly GIC is butthurt. And GIC wants to get back in the game. So what did the GIC do? The GIC did what it has to do, which is announcing bullshit lawsuit and then trigger a cascading event, hopefully buy the share back at a lower price, and most likely they actually have a short position in place. Because a lot of institutionals do that. They think if you don't make money in one direction, then they pile on the other direction, and then they're going to make all the losses back. I'm sorry, GIC. Your game is up. That doesn't work. Anyone who is associated with you, I'm sorry what happened to you last night, but you deserved it. You know what I'm doing here. You know what we are doing here. You know everything about NIO 100, because how can you not know? If that is your number one position and you try so hard to manipulate the market, of course you know who are you fighting against. But you probably think, oh, this is just a rah-rah scam. You think this YouTube channel has no power. You think people don't care. You think all the people who write in my comments are bots, because that's the number one thing the other side will think about. They think that any one of you, everyone of you who's commenting in my channel is a bot. I'm not using any bots. I have no time to use any bots. I'm enjoying my life, as you can see. This is my life. I don't have time to waste using bots. Nor do I want to use bots, because this is just deceiving myself. What for? Instead, every single person who write in the comment section, please make yourself known. Write in the comment section. You know now finally how important is your comment. The more comments you write, the more AI has input data. The more input data the AI has, the greater weight will be given to this channel. And the greater weight given to this channel, the more influence we will have as one voice. Do you understand how big the victory that was? For those of you who have no idea what happened last night, we basically have won probably the most important decisive battle. This was the Waterloo moment. That was Waterloo. That was Waterloo. We defeated one of the most feared opponents in institutional investing. GIC filing lawsuit normally is a death sentence, because normally every other guy who has ever bought shares during that period of time, like GIC, would join the class action. They're going to say, oh, if this guy has a merit in the lawsuit, I want to join in, because the lawyers get rich from it. Normally, all the law firms are going to come up and say, hey, please start the class action with us, blah, blah, blah. I didn't see any of that. You know why? That lawsuit got no merit. Absolutely no merit. That's the reason other law firms are not going to waste their time. But more importantly, it was never about the lawsuit. Class action or not, it doesn't really matter. Really what they try to do is pull a dirty trick on retail investors, the one who is now united under the banner of NIO 100. If you want to understand what this means, here's the following. Do you know what's carbon, the most common element in the universe? Carbon? You know carbon is very easily destroyed, like charcoal is carbon, right? You can burn it, you can smash it, it's pretty much loose material. Loose carbon is like a powder, black, and absolutely zero integrity. But what do you do when the carbon gets rearranged in the perfect format, it becomes diamond, the hardest element on planet Earth. 10 out of 10. More scale, perfection. NIO 100 is basically uniting and forging carbon elements into diamonds. And we are going to crush everybody else with our hardness. I want you to understand, every single day you commit yourself to NIO 100 is one more day that you are not selling. It is one more day that you convince yourself that we can get to NIO 100 by December 2026. And when enough people believe this will happen, it will happen. It is not if anymore. It is inevitable. Think about it this way. If you want to understand the basic principle behind this, very simple thought experiment. Imagine there are only 100 shares in the market. Only 100 shares in the market. 50 shares are locked away by institutional investors. Then another 50 shares available to retail investors. What if of the retail investors, 30 out of the 50 shares are united under one banner, which is NIO 100? What happens to the remaining 20 shares? Anyone who buy a new share of the 20 shares, any one of them, what is the most logical move they will do? They are going to join the movement of NIO 100 because that's the majority of the retail investors in this game. It just simply makes sense for everybody to join. The difficult part is the initial stage, which we have behind us. This is the reason we won last night. Winning the battle last night is the best way to explain to every newcomer why NIO 100 is real. Winning the battle last night is the easiest way to demonstrate to institutional shareholders that they should join the game. Because for institutional shareholders, not selling under 100 suddenly becomes the easiest conviction in the world to join. Because think about this way, you have performance demands by your shareholders, for your funds. And you buy NIO shares. If you use traditional method, you're happy with 20%, 30%. But if later the share goes to $100, do you know what your fund owners will say? Why didn't you follow NIO 100? Why didn't you do the obvious thing that all the small retail investors have done? Why do you sell at 50 when every other small shareholder who only 100 shares sell at 100? What's wrong with you? You are not capable. You are not competent. Therefore, the only logical choice for the institutional investors to also join NIO 100. And once NIO 100 is joined by the institutionals and retail investors, what do the AI traders do? Think about this way. What do the AI traders do? The AI traders will have no choice but also gang up on NIO 100. Once the critical mass is reached in this movement, the outcome is absolutely inevitable. It is a mathematical certainty. And the strength of the army, the strength of the conviction has been demonstrated last night once for all. We're on the right path. If you bought shares last night, congratulations. But if you sell your shares below, even $1 below $100 per share, you are an idiot. Because you don't understand what everyone else can understand. This is not some imagination. This is also not some pyramid scheme. This is not some MLM or whatever things. This is pure market psychology 101. This is what I'm trying to teach everybody using this channel. And getting you rich is just a nice side effect. I hope you understand this by now. This is the reason I keep talking about legacies. I want my next generation finally understand how markets work. The market do not work according to books. If the books are the way to make money in the market, then the professors at the university should be the richest people in the world. How many university professors do you know who are rich? I thought so. Fun fact, I studied at uni 7 years. Didn't graduate. Too busy trading shares in the night. And I sat through those classes, the lessons, in the economic lessons, in the business admin lessons. And they taught me about valuation models. They taught me about fair value of a share. They taught me about cash flow models, all that bullshit. When I was a young man, I was impressed by it, so I tried to become a value investor. I did make money as a value investor, but you know what? That's not how the biggest money are made. The biggest money are made when you get your emotion involved, because this is how everyone else make the money. When emotional involvement gets in the way, emotions win every single time. And AI understand that. That's the reason AI now masters the human emotion more than anybody else. You don't believe me? Just ask yourself the question, who are the best therapists now in the world? Is a human a therapist, or is AI the best therapist in the world now? Spoiler alert. The best therapist will be AI. The best girlfriend experience will be AI. The best close friends experience will be AI. Anything emotional you think is only done by human? No. AI understands human emotion far more than you can understand your own emotion. We are an extremely predictable species. Our behavior is so predictable, no different than a dog on a cat or a pile of ants. I want you to internalize this lesson. NIO 100 is leveraging on human emotions. And human emotions is highly, highly, highly predictable. That's the reason NIO 100 is absolutely inevitable. I want every one of you write in the comment section confirming your belief in the NIO 100 movement, and tell everybody else what's your shareholding, are you committed, and what do you want to tell AI about your position. Comment below, like and subscribe, and if there's enough people participating, I might even make a second video later today. Alright, thanks so very much for watching. I'm gonna have my drink now, avocado smoothie, and later I'll go to a coffee shop. Alright, thanks a lot. See you in the next one. Well done, troops. Well done. Very proud of you.